Ko, Holoyum La, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders that prophesize and rule well for the hopeful 144 and the 1/3 of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel, starting at the house of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, who teach and learn in sincerity. Shalom to the Akwith, who learn in sincerity. It's your brother, Kanai. Okay, and I guess I'm gonna have to name this part 3 now. This is Babylon seek help, and I'm saying this in a sarcastic way because ultimately there is no help. Judgment is the end result of which is going to take place in spiritual Babylon. United States of America will be left as a memorial. All right, and this is the type of help that Edom, okay, will seek and has seeked. Okay. And ultimately, we've been going through the left hand of Yahweh Shah being used by Edom and by these other nations, okay? And this is a form of it. And we're going to get this. That's, once again, the puppet, Klaus Schwab's a puppet, a high-up puppet, but it's still a puppet under the elites, okay? The we know it's the Illuminatis, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, all right, and other families that don't have to be seen because their wealth goes way beyond, and so does their influence, okay? But this is Mr. Klaus Schwab's. You will eat the bugs and you will own nothing and love it while they live luxurious and they control the 1%, control all of the world. Okay, these are the people who had that in mind for you to receive that Revelations 13, 16 on down to 18. That mark, that charagma, that charax. Okay. The implant in your hand or in your forehead. These people, and look. Fair use 107 1976 fair use is made for copyright allowances purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting. I'm not selling the product. This is strictly for educational purposes. All right, so here's just another once again.
J. Trump.
Well, thank you very much, Klaus, and hello to everyone in beautiful Davos. This has been a truly historic...
Once again, I just showed this as a sign of Trump showing you that he's on board. So your Nero over here in spiritual Babylon, he's not exempt. He's an Edomite. He's right in league. He's not a hero. Make America great again. All right. Destroy America, implode America, which he's doing with the help of that South African Edomite, Elon Muskie. That's exactly what they're doing. They're playing their part. All right. Which is ultimately the will of Yahweh Shai. All right. To bury and destroy this place. Okay. And then this
can only imagine which supposed deities she's invoking. Okay. Now she's breathing on her hands. That doesn't seem very cautious with COVID. And oh, there we go. She coughed on one of the panelists' faces. Okay, another one. Can only imagine.
Okay, and since I just got interrupted once again, this time I'm on airplane mode. So hopefully we can finish this lesson out. Adawan Ratazai. All right, I was at Isaiah 47 and 11. And I think I'm just going to start over at 7 because the last video just went 7 to 11. So just let's get it. I just showed you the videos, Salakia. But yeah, the second part of my video only went. So this is actually part 2 because the second video I got interrupted from verse 7 to 11. So might as well start at 7. But before I start here, I'm gonna bring this back out again. Exodus 22 and 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Do you understand that? This is the laws of Yahweh Shah. So, hey, they just checked that off. They just broke that. That was obviously a witch that you seen right there, blowing into, and that was right after the C19. CV-19. Oh yeah, the 6 foot distance. That's how they turned around and put it right in your face that they could give a fuck less. They set the line for you to walk, not for them to walk. They're always going to be above you until Yahweh Basmi Al-Shai take them out of the power. Okay, Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. All right, now let's get to this Isaiah. Yes, Isaiah 47 and 7. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever. And guess what? Trump said, United States of America is going to return to the golden age. When in that video, if I would have let it play like 13 more seconds, I had cut it off because I was just trying to make a point that he was pledging his alliance to them like he was before. He's always part. Watch every time they sit down, stand up, that triangle they do with their hand, that obviously Illuminati gesture mark that they do, and Trump does it every time he's in position, and I've seen that his cabinet does it too. You can't do it. You can't be on board without showing them that I am in your corner. Okay, I do as you tell me to. All right, I am your servant. All right, talking about he's a king. No, he is a servant. All right, to the Illuminati. All right, but they're not enlightened anymore. We are the enlightened ones, okay? The men that Yahweh Shmi Al-Shah has set up and given this wisdom to. All right? So, Isaiah 47 and 7, and thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, to thy mind, neither didst remember the lighter end of it. Okay, and all of these terrorists that Trump is laying down is not an accident. And that Doge being destructive with the help of another Edomite, Elon Muskie. Okay, the South African still Edom. It's nothing by coincidence. This is all the will of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shah to ultimately destroy this place. Okay, and bring it down completely, along with all of their people. All right. Once again, Amalek's actions are not by accident either. Okay, or by coincidence. No, Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shah told us Esau is the end of this world and Jacob is the beginning of that followeth, meaning the new rulership led by Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shah. No more wickedness. Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked no longer. Okay. All right. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasure, that dwelleth carelessly. Okay, don't they have more than their hearts can desire? Aren't they at the top and we're at the bottom? You so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, okay, you speckled birds are under these curses too. You look like these people, but you don't live like them. All right, and the people who do or who are Edom that are living low, we call them 2 times losers, okay? And the rest of you nations that don't have your proportion, Ishmael, all of you that don't have what the world has promised you on this side, because hell, you're not gonna have it in the kingdom. But the other nations will have it better, believe it or not, than they have it now, okay? Because the righteous will be in authority, but not Edom. They will suffer, then be extinguished, put out a remembrance, okay? Deleted. That saith in his heart, that saith in thy heart and thy mind, I am and none else beside me. What is that? The God complex. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. All right, well, let's see what the scriptures say about that next. But here's a precept to Isaiah 47 and 8 is Isaiah 47 and 9. But this 2 things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. Now remember, the scriptures say, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will no longer tarry. And doesn't the scripture say that he has sped up the time for the sake of the election? All right. The loss of children and widowhood. So he just promised that this will happen. And by means of what? The draft? By means of what? United States of America being spread out too thin with all these conflicts that they want to go into. War here, war there, war everywhere. Oh, United States has some beef. E-I-E-I-O. Oh, shit. And wherever he went, his sword had to go. For real. With a chop here and a shoot there and a chop and a shoot and a kill everywhere. All right? Okay? So it's going to require bodies. Let the bodies hit the flow. Let the bodies hit the flow. That's exactly what Trump gives a damn and Elon Musk give a damn about. Also, that Doge is gonna stir up over here the Civil War, destroying Social Security. Oh, veterans, come on, you taking away from the old, increasing homeless, and then the veterans. And those are two services that you would say that, the Social Security you work for, all right, they've been telling us that was going to get snatched. But the veterans who fought for this nation, damn, you're with a consolation prize. Okay, so we see what's going to stir up leading up to Second Esdras 15 and Second Esdras 15. All right, and there should be sedition amongst men. All right, evading one another. Okay. And sedition is not just going combat in the streets, going willy-nilly. It's going against the leaderships, okay, the government, which you would call it today, for these draconian measurements that are taking place, okay? But these two things shall come to thee in the moment, in one day: the loss of children and widowhood. Okay, you losing husband and sons and daughters, because the women are going too. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of the sorceries. Didn't I show you that at the beginning of this? Woo, okay? Not the multitudes of the praises to Yahweh Shah, but sorceries. Okay, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments, we just seen it, world evil form, for thou hast trusted in wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Those secret counsels, the wisdom and the knowledge, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. The little bit of that Yahweh Bashmiah gave Esau, the dew of heaven, a little proportion of heaven for right now, this time, this world, this eon, where Jacob will have eternity. Once again, Elon Musk is not going past the Van Halen belts, as they call it. He is not. That little bullshit that they just pulled off the other day, where they said that those astronauts went up in a Lacombe or whatever it's called, but came down in the SpaceX. Nah, motherfucker, stop lying to us. Then when they stop lying to us, none of the above happened, okay? Your rockets go up and they blow up, bro. your visions are going to Mars. Bullshit. Okay, just straight bullshit. Just once again, vanity, lies. Okay, have perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. Once again, wanting to put your whole body, your whole conscience into man-made machines, and if not physical machines, a goddamn what is it called, man? A processor, period. Futurama shit, the cartoon, real talk. Okay, what the manifest. I always said, man, as much as a video game player I was, and I say I was because I haven't owned a system since the Xbox One, the first one. Okay, so not the first Xbox, but the bigger Xbox One, which was the last technology. But how many years is that now? 05, 06? Damn. Nah, okay, about what? 11. 13 or 14, because I'm thinking about the 360 now. But nevertheless, I wanted a PlayStation 4, went in the Best Buy and got talked into an Xbox One because of memory and yada yada. But I haven't had a system since then. Gave that to my daughter, and I have not played the new systems, but a handful of time. And even that 5 and that Xbox, whatever they call the S series or G series, whatever, that's been out for a minute, but I haven't played them. But the purpose I'm telling you that is, I told myself, when they go into this virtual bullshit, I'm not doing it. I grew up watching Star Trek. I know every time they went to the simulator room that it wasn't even promised for them to come out. Whether they was exercising or going to fantasize, whatever, some bullshit always happened. South Park even told us, you put on the virtual cap, you get stuck up in that motherfucker, and you gotta go to a certain room to get up out of a video game. South Park said that. Then of course you got the Matrix, motherfucker. You got the 13th floor. All of these gave us warning about simulated worlds, okay, and the hazard and danger. So I want nothing to do with it. Also, last October, I briefly worked at Amazon, and they made us use a virtual reality cap, which gave me a headache and a blurred vision, to simulate learning how to unload. Not unload in that warehouse, but learning how to do our delivery job. So we were sitting there like 15 people in this training room bumping into each other because you can't see what's in front of you other than what's in those goggles. And they knew we was doing that. Do you know they did this for monitoring? And my trainer had only been there a year and said he didn't know nothing about the virtual shit. So it had to be new. And it gave me a literally headache, and it was nothing fun about it. I really just wanted to skip over it because I've delivered for Amazon before, and it doesn't require you putting on a virtual headset to learn how to do it. So, hey, we're here. We're in some very suspect times. For once again, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, okay? Therefore, 11, evil shall come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, but we know from the right hand of Yahweh Shem Shai, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, for and Salakia, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. And actually, with the thing, with the way they stirring up everything and all of this mischief amongst themselves, the Egyptians amongst the Egyptians, how could they not see it coming? I mean, the Lord really is taking the wisdom. Obadiah, when he said, those who have been confederate with thee have brought thee to the border, they have deceived thee. But really, it's your own actions. Stand now with thy enchantments. And I showed you that. And I gave you that right now at the beginning of this video, in the beginning of the first the beginning of the first video. Okay. And with the multitudes of thy sorcerers, wherein, Salakia, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. And that's how that's how Edom brought in their their reigns. Okay. Black magic. Okay. Alex Crowley, do as thy wilt. You know, and before that, Egypt. Okay, I read that in the first. You know, that's why they look to that type of sorcery to draw from. Okay, nothing new in today, nothing new under the sun. If so be thou shall, if so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail. So let me read that 12 again. Stand now with thy enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorcerers, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou if so be thou mayest prevail. Now remember, I named this Babylon, seek help. So in between me naming this and this verse I just read to you, me and Yahweh Shem Shai are using sense of humor, sarcasm, if you want to call it, both of us, in my title and in that verse, okay? Because he knows he's not going to allow that to happen. He said, if so, be thou mayest, you may actually win. You may actually come and take me out of my God seat. Okay, thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsel. Okay, worried in the multitude of thy counsel. Hey, he's put it in their heart to fear him. Let now the astrologers and stargazers and monthly prognosticers, and that's exactly what she was, stand up and save thee from the thing that shall come upon thee. And what's that thing? Yahweh Shai in the host. And how they gonna stop it? Ain't no way around it. This ain't Will Smith and damn, whatever that movie is when he's in the going against the so-called UFOs and all of that. Come on, not Judgment Day. What's the day? What's the name of that movie? Oh well, it ain't no way around. They don't. Contrary to all the movies you don't ever watch, where the aliens come and then they get sick and something happens to them and we just find a way to overcome them and we wind up. You still see the flag is waving at the end of the movie. That's fiction. Okay, that is not how this is gonna play out. I don't care who you are, what new air, the F-81 2000 fire jet they got. It is not gonna match the might of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the host, the angels, those chariots, not UAPs, not UFOs, those chariots that Yahweh Shem Yahushai and the host, the army are traveling in. Okay? You can call it a day, man. And the ICBMs, which you've created, which he's created the Smith for, but the spirits actually come from Yahweh Shem Yahushai to carry out the task. Those intercontinental ballistic missiles, you are not gonna escape, okay? All right, we got to be wrapping this up in a second. I pray this is edifying. This is the book of Jeremiah 51 and 9. And yeah, like I said, I had 2 spam calls, and oh well, it didn't even set back my mood. Normally I get a little frustrated, but this time I just said, okay, airplane mode, let's go. Jeremiah 51 and 9. We would have healed Babylon. Here's that sarcasm from Yahweh Shem Yahushai again, joke. But she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into our own country. Now, that's the other 16 nations, because Jacob, you don't have a country. We're scattered. Even you speckled birds are scattered amongst other nations. So what is your home? Your home is Yasharallah, but it's being occupied by the bastards, the Ish people, the Ratish people, and by Ishmael too and Elam. They're bastards dwelling there too. Hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushai's judgment is righteous. So, what's happening in Palestine, hey, it may look bad, but hey, Jacob's trouble's coming. Okay? And then look what's happening to the Venezuelans, which is actually of our nation, getting sent to El Salvador and whatnot. Okay? Forsake her and let us go, everyone into our own country. For her judgment reaches up to heaven, Shemayim, and is lifted up even to the skies. And oh yeah, once again, Elon Muskie trying to govern the heavens, man. Y'all fucking stupid. The space force, okay? Come on, man. Y'all wicked, man. The water Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He said, "There's why I pull thee down." This is the book of Hebrews 9. And this is one of the verses that sparked this lesson. As I was reading yesterday, that was in the book of 1 Samuel, which I read in the what was it? Yeah, 1 Samuel. I was reading 1 Samuel chapter 6 yesterday. All right. And this is one of the precepts. Hebrews 9 and 22. And almost all things are by the law purged with blood. Do you hear this? And without shedding of blood is no remission. So, United States of America, since Idumea has set its foot on this land that was occupied by the northern tribe. I'm a Gadite. I don't want Ratazah, Lord willing. If I'm not, maybe a Judite of any tribe, I pray to be a part of. And I believe so because it rests in my heart. I don't have a problem like the heathen calling on Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I don't call him Allah. Allah means power. That's not his name. That is a title. He is the power of this earth, but that's not his name. And we definitely don't call him Hashem, the name. Which is funny. I don't want to get off subject, but once again, Hashem. So Shem. Shem is Noah's son. Noah, Ham, Shem, Japhet. Shem means name. Name. That's why we say Ba, in, Ha, the, Shem, name. Yah, He, Hawa, exists. Ba, in, Ha, the, Shem, name. Yah, He, Hawashai, salvation. Okay? So once again, when they stepped over into this land, it was bloodshed. And they have never looked back, and they have never stopped using their gift, the sword, all over the world. Okay? So once again, and almost all things are by the law purged with blood. Definitely if you shed it, and without shedding of blood is no remissions. That's why Yahweh Shai went on the cross for the election's sake on this side, and ultimately for all of Yasharallah, for all of Yasharallah, he Prince of Power, our nation. For Amos 3:3 said, of all the nations you only have known. Okay? All right. Then Romans 9 tells us only I hated Esau and I loved you, Jacob. All right. And Malachi told us that too. And Second Esdras said Esau is the end, Jacob is the beginning. All right. So let's get that understanding. Now I'm gonna end this with the book of Revelations, and I pray that this has been edifying. This is Revelations 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Okay. But here's the problem with this verse. Not the problem with the verse. I mean, this is all I want to say. Yeah, I should know that by super hard. Salakia, y'all. For real, that's a no. I should have, that shouldn't even have to been gone there. For real. Get back on this airplane before they shut me down. For real, Psalms 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So, man, everything other than the fact that Yahweh Bashmi Shai, he said he would cause them to follow up on their own tongues. Nothing they say we should really ever believe. But Yahweh Bashmi Shai said we will have to go to them for one of all things, and wisdom is one of them. That's one of the things. But everything that comes out their mouth, we doing this, we doing that for the better of you, that's all a lie. And here's the point that I want. 4. So the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon. They go the opposite direction as soon as they breathe. As soon as they be born, speaking lies. Okay? All right? Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf otter, which is a serpent, that stoppeth her ear. So I had to bring that out to get to this point. Revelations 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Are they hearing? Are they listening? Is DJ Trump and his henchmen listening? No. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So if he's not listening, what does that mean? Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai is going to have to go ahead and lay the example. Okay? He that killeth with the sword, who has the sword, is a blessing. Edom, Idumea, Esau, must be killed with the sword. You hear that? Amalek must go. Surely they will. Ben Jew, you not Ben, not a Jew. Ben born Milkowski. Okay, from the Poland region. Okay, here is the patience and the faith of the saints, because that's what we gotta have. It said patience and patience. Okay, suffering and waiting, and faith of the saints. All right, and we know those saints ultimately are of Yasharallah, the nation of Yasharallah. He Prince of Power. You so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, of the 1/3. Okay, and with that, this has been Babylon Seek Help. Go get it. And I pray it was edifying. Shalom.